Listen to this. In order to improve and accelerate ongoing live service development and to better address player feedback and quality of life updates, we relocated studio resources and are no longer working on local split screen co-op signed 343 Industries on Halo Infinite. You lied to everyone out there. You lied to me. You pulled a GTA 5, and I hope Phil Spencer and Xbox needs to take the license away from you and shut down that studio if y'all don't know what the heck y'all are doing over there. I'm sick and tired of this crap. I've waited years for this game, finally to get a new Halo game. We're going to film a split-screen co-op session. You pretty much just screwed anyone who doesn't have good internet. So what do you have to say for yourselves? Nothing, and I hope this bites you in the butt, and I hope you lose the license, and I hope they fire a lot of you people. And this is not just on 343, but this is on you, Xbox. You have no excuse for your main flagship title to be just completely void of any worthwhile games, and y'all are you choose someone so incompetent that they cannot make just a functioning multiplayer game, let alone a Halo game. So what is the deal? Destroy All Humans 2 has split screen co-op and Halo doesn't. What do y'all have to say about that?
So what went behind this decision? Did they explain themselves?
Well, they said it's to put more effort into something the fans want more, or something to do with that, or something. The way they made it sound, they wanted them to focus on other parts of the game. So instead of working on something that they promised was coming, they completely lied to everybody and pulled a GTA 5 and said, oh, here's what GTA 5 said. And I got another thing to say about that. When GTA 5 was in its heyday, when it was like really big when it first came out, everyone was like, I think Rockstar even said, we're going to make a single-player DLC for GTA 5. And we never did get it because everyone's obsessed with GTA Online. And so that's gone. And now 343 not only released a crap game, but they can't even give us anything to fix it. They haven't fixed anything in the multiplayer, and what they have fixed has been super delayed. And the game came out delayed multiple times. And the game looks like crap, and it still runs like crap on multiplayer. And we didn't get anything to fix it. And anything that they did was small and took a long time to release an update for the game. So that's what we're looking at now. And now we're getting no campaign split-screen co-op in a Halo game.
So do you want to tell the people what happened when you initially found out about this?
I was so mad that I literally slammed my hand down into the ladder cart so many times, and now I have like carpal tunnel or something.
You got a bruise?
No, I don't got nothing, but it sure freaking hurt.
Well, how did you find out?
I was just looking. I always do my daily news update on my, myself. I look things up on Google and, watch stuff on YouTube and Twitter and stuff like that.
And when you saw that split screen, it's over. There's no.
I mean, how do you feel about a Halo game in general not having split screen?
I mean, to be honest with you, I don't like that any game that doesn't have split screen. I mean, this is way off, but when we played Hunter Call of the Wild, I had to use Zachary's PlayStation Plus account, and he's got one of the greatest hunters of all time, and he didn't do anything to earn them.
That is what it is.
You're good with it.
Yeah, I'm fine.
So, you should always have the option of split screen. Whether you want to just play online like everybody does, you need the split screen option.
Call of Duty has split screen.
Yeah, how hard could it be?
If that tells you anything, Call of Duty has split screen.
Yeah, but,
To be fair, they are releasing Forge. It's finally going to
So what?
release.
The game's dead now. No one's playing it. Literally.
Do you think split screen is going to change that any?
No, but the fact is that not only did they lie and by the way, Phil Spencer and the head of Xbox has done nothing to address these issues. He can't keep control of his own company. How in the world... When are we going to get good games from Xbox? When? When is it happening? Fable is... Where's Fable?
Who knows?
Where's Fable, Xbox?
I've waited, 12 years for...
Since they announced it. Just since they announced it.
I've waited 12 years for a good Fable game.
I am so tired of this. Phil Spencer needs to be fired because I don't know if he's one of those cool bosses who doesn't care what his employees are doing and letting them do whatever they want and hang out and not make any games while PlayStation's over here making... One of them's worthless, The Last of Us Remake Part 1.
You could also say
But
that...
at least they're making new games like Ghost of Tsushima, Horizon Zero Dawn, Killzone back in the day.
I can tell you,
Uncharted.
I can tell you what Xbox is doing. They're copying another person who's done the same thing. They're copying Valve.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Valve did. The only difference is they didn't really
look
buy
at this
studios. They just
all
made a thing that...
All Phil and Xbox want to do, instead of making good games or releasing or building their own IPs, they'd rather just outright buy whole studios because they're too lazy to take the time to build it up themselves. Whereas Sony is like Marvel and has built up this multiple IP giant catalog on their own, working their way up, Xbox has sat there and paid to win. They've literally paid to win. Like in a gun, like a multiplayer shooter, where you can buy a new gun using real money, and it's a really powerful gun, and then you go in there and wreck everyone who doesn't have that gun.
Here's the funny part.
Xbox is literally paying to win.
Funny part is they're not winning.
I know. That's the sad thing. That is the sad thing, because I think the only one I can think of is Starfield, and that comes out soon, and we don't even know if that's going to come out functioning. Every Xbox game that has come out, Crackdown's been broken. Halo Infinite's broken. Even though the single player was fun, everything else was broken. Sea of Thieves came out broken. I'm pretty sure Starfield's going to come out broken. Like, every game, and this has been happening since Rise, Son of Rome, and Dead Rising 3. This has been going on for so long. It's the dark age of Xbox, and we've had... And it's supposed to be the greatest time of Xbox, because Game Pass is such a good deal. You get so many games, but most of those games you can get on PlayStation. And then the games you can't get on PlayStation are games like Forza, which not everyone's a fan of racing games, and Flight Simulator. A very, very boring game. So... And then you get a bunch of indie titles and these small games. Where Sony's giving you Spider-Man, they're giving you Wolverine, they're giving you God of War, Ragnarok. That's awesome. Days Gone, Last of Us, Uncharted, Killzone, whenever they make a new one of those.
Horizon.
Huh? Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm sure I'm missing some. Bloodborne. Yes. What the crap is going on at Xbox? Phil needs to be fired, and 343 needs to be disbanded.
How can he be fired? He owns the thing, right?
I don't know. I think he's like the CEO or not the CEO. He's the manager over Xbox.
He runs Xbox, but he still answers to Bill Gates.
Well, Bill Gates probably answers to someone else now.
No, he doesn't.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Bill Gates owns Microsoft.
The point is, he doesn't do anything.
He sold most of the shares out of that.
Did he?
I believe so. He's working on buying a bunch of farmland or something.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
What do you mean? He has all the money in the world.
The point
I
is,
was going to say it doesn't matter.
Phil Spencer, it's his job to make money, right? That's his job, but it's also to, get the developers to actually work on the game and have it released on time.
I figured they didn't want split screen because they wanted people, staying with having to buy their Game Pass accounts. They didn't
Well,
want.
I mean,
they
here's
didn't
the
want
thing.
people like me who doesn't have an Xbox Live account hopping on and just playing a little split screen.
Well, here's the
Everybody
thing.
that touches it needs an Xbox Live account.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Here's what this says: Xbox Game Pass, friends and family plan confirmed, which means they have a plan where you can pay
I'm
for
your family.
your family and friends to play on the Game Pass with you on their own account. So why,
Kind of like a Netflix. Yeah.
No, I get it.
like, there's no excuse though, because multiple games, including Call of Duty makes more money than Halo ever did.
Does
And
it?
yeah, Call of Duty releases every year. They make tons of money.
Oh well, yeah. I mean,
Call of Duty, like,
as a whole,
yeah, I mean, Call of Duty makes money
quantity
all
over
the
quality.
time. Well, here's the thing: it still has split screen at
Well,
least.
Modern Warfare, I'll take.
Alright.
At least it still has split screen.
Yeah, but you can't do 4-player anymore.
Well, you haven't been able to do that in any game for a long time, but there's no excuse. And Forge, when you brought up Forge, it's been delayed like twice, I believe,
Yeah.
and it still isn't out yet. It's coming out soon,
Coming out in November.
but there's no excuse for these kind of delays.
So, I've been waiting to tell you something for a while, and I was gonna wait for you to calm down before I told you. Something that you mentioned a few times. Okay, so the movie Prey.
Yeah.
You hated that name. You're the only guy I know.
No, I didn't
you said
hate it. I just
Prey.
thought it was odd.
Well, the director, Raphael Colantonio, has said Bethesda forced him to use that name, and he called it, quote, gross. So what do you think of that?
For what? The Predator movie?
The title, Prey, the director
For the movie?
thought the title, Prey, was a gross title.
Why?
Bethesda made him title the movie Prey. But I kind of think if you're the director, you shouldn't have to.
What does Bethesda have to do with Prey?
Well, they were the main production company.
Are you talking about the games? Because there's a game series called Prey.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the movie for
I
a
thought you were
minute.
talking about the Predator movie.
Oh,
No, you were talking about Prey.
Yeah.
And so, I thought it was assumed that we were talking on the video game
okay,
side.
yeah.
Yeah, my bad. It just threw me off. You
Oh,
said
okay.
the
Because
director.
recently we watched Prey, and I
Yeah,
was
that
like,
too.
yeah.
But
Man.
I did, to be fair, I could see how I'm connecting that
Well,
over. But Bethesda,
I
made him stick with it.
But here's
I
the
didn't
thing.
think Prey was a bad name. I thought that was a good. The only reason why I thought it was odd is because it's a Predator movie.
No.
Predator
the game,
movie
the
is
game
what I was
Prey
getting
is.
at.
It was a reboot of the original series called Prey. Am I wrong on that?
I don't know. I've never played Prey.
Well, they butted heads.
Huh.
So, you
Well,
didn't know about this?
The point is, it's a good game.
There's also
from what I've heard.
There's also
so.
some kind of show on Netflix called Prey. I see it on the front page.
Huh.
So, we've got enough preys and predators and whatnot. Well, I'm glad you got a chance to get this off your chest. I'm glad you had this therapy session with me and Zachary
So
and our listeners.
remember growing up playing split screen Halo,
Yes.
and was that not one of the funnest times you've ever had?
Well, I got a story for you. Story time.
All right.
Well, I remember, don't make fun of me, I was in band, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th grade. And in band, and you remember the band room,
I do.
they had multiple soundproof rooms. Now, the idea being you take your individual instrument in this small room.
Mm-hmm.
It's about half the size of this room.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what we did was we took 2 separate TVs into one of these little rooms. We stacked them up, and then we got 4 Xbox, and we were playing 4-player split screen Halo and Modern Warfare. What do you think of that? Because back then you could link. I know this is gonna. You could link
System
Xbox.
link,
You could
yeah.
system link. Kids, let me tell you something. You used to have to system link. You didn't get online with your buddies.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we walked in through the front door, 4 TVs, and then we had 5 or 6 Xbox 360s.
Hmm.
So what
Back
do you
in the
think?
good old days.
And then I remember somebody walking in the front of the door and looking in, and there was like 10 people in there sitting with 2 TVs playing with 4-player split screens.
Mm-hmm.
And they were just like shaking their head like, that's ridiculous. You're supposed to be in there playing your trumpet.
And here y'all are playing 4-player Halo.
Josh, Zachary, and I, we have a Modern Warfare 700, what was it? Free
for all.
Free for all that we, this was filmed in, was it 2009 or 2010?
I think it was 8.
Yeah.
7 to 7.
We had a camcorder on a tripod pointed at the TV.
That's how we filmed back in the day.
And we did a 700-point free-for-all on Crossfire.
We're the original YouTubers.
Split screen.
We filmed in this very room.
In this very room.
What, 14 years ago?
Yep,
It's over here somewhere.
it's in the other
Yeah,
room.
we got the old tripod and the camcorder still. I remember I used to have to sit on a stool in the middle,
Don't worry about
and I'd have to check and make sure the camera was still recording
Yeah,
constantly
camera
while
was
I
sitting
was
like
playing.
right here facing the TV.
And we played for like what, 4 hours? That one
That
match
one match
lasted like
took us
4
like,
hours.
yeah,
Mhm.
it was a long time. Because,
It was only 4 people
I mean, at
fighting
that
to
700 kills, man.
Well, Josh, we agreed to get on the air today to let you
Well,
let you do your thing.
one thing before we close,
If this is
I've
your
got-
segment,
I got to close with this.
this is your show.
It's his rant.
Phil Spencer, Xbox, and 343, you need to apologize to the fans that you have disappointed for the past, how many years would you say? 10 years? Ever since the Xbox One first came out?
Since
Sounds about right.
Since Halo 4.
Sounds about right. At least since Halo 5, at least. You need to apologize to, not me, the fans. He's never going to see this.
Maybe you
but-
can explain to me why Bungie, why they dropped out, why did they stop making
Well,
Halo games?
If I'm not mistaken, they stopped because they had told the story that needed to be told.
3 was supposed to be
That's a
the
good
last
point. It's
game.
good. Yeah.
3 was supposed to be the last game. It made so much money that they were like, we're going to do Reach.
It's a phenomenal
standalone Halo game.
But
in the
they
universe.
never continued after 3
Yeah,
because that story was over.
but
It was phenomenal, and Halo Reach, man, what a game!
Halo Reach was great.
But you guys are more knowledgeable than me, and I just didn't know why Bungie didn't continue.
Well, Bungie wanted to do their own thing, so they left Xbox.
Probably
Because
the best decision they've ever made.
I guess when their
Well,
contract ran
Or
out,
whenever they left Halo,
They
guess
went-
what they made?
they
They
went,
made Destiny.
they went to Activision, which was one of the worst decisions they could have made.
But Josh,
They didn't get
They-
bought. They just did have like a deal where they'd make games for Activision.
But they made Destiny.
They knew
And
their
this
worth.
game has
You want to know what
swept.
happened after all that?
Yeah,
So-
tell me. That's what I
So
want to know.
Bungie, after all that, eventually, or Destiny 1 was considered a good game, and then Destiny 2 was considered rough, very rough, I think.
And now is a good game.
But yeah, and now I think
It kind of-
from what I've heard, it's a good
From
game.
what I understand, it pulled like a No Man's Sky, and it slowly got better and better.
But here's the thing. Here's what happened. You ready for this, Chase?
Yeah.
343 got bought by PlayStation.
Oh.
Or not
Mm.
343, Bungie. Did I
Yeah.
say 343?
yeah,
I meant Bungie.
Bungie
got
got
bought by PlayStation.
whenever
I'm so stuck on 343, and I just
Isn't
want to
that
choke
rich?
them.
Mhm.
I want to choke them.
They paid what, like 4 to 7 billion?
I don't know.
For
All I know is
Bungie.
they own the people, or not the people. Some of the people are probably gone now. They're probably not even.
They
part
own
of
the
company.
studio that created.
But they
Halo
own the studio
and
that
Destiny.
created Destiny and Halo.
Well, I think it's time to wrap up this bonus episode.
Yeah.
Josh,
Yeah.
I think you could have shot this episode solo, but I think it's better to throw a rant if you have an audience. You don't want to be the
Well-
lone guy in the room throwing the
man.
rant.
If y'all weren't here, I probably would have threw something because I was really mad this morning.
Oh my!
I just feel cheated. I feel 100% cheated. And do y'all not feel cheated by this?
I felt upset by this for a long time. It's nothing new to me. I've been like, we've had to deal with me and my Ron Bojangles Xbox Live and PlayStation. What's it called? PlayStation Plus.
PlayStation Plus.
Plus account, and I've had to play games off your profile, streaming them, and then when we played Ghost Recon, I had to re-up my account, and we had tons of problems logging in. So it's nothing like new for me. I know exactly what they're doing. They want everyone that's playing to pay money to buy the game. They want them to have their Game Pass account. They want them to have their Xbox Live account, their PlayStation Plus account. They want microtransactions in the game.
Well, that's what was funny is that they're
You know that.
they're allowing
Racks on racks.
or
on racks.
they're releasing online co-op, but they're not doing split screen.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
that just further goes along with the point.
Well,
Yeah.
look,
I wish I could articulate it better. Good Lord.
I did not hate Halo Infinite when
It's
it first
late.
I
came
need the
out.
subtitles for me.
I did not hate Halo Infinite when it first came out. On the contrary, actually, I hated the multiplayer actually, but I loved the single player. I thought it was great. Right?
Josh and I played Halo 1, 2, 3, Reach,
But-
and, ODST, and we did half of 4 leading into Infinite.
The thing that makes
And
me
and
mad.
Josh, we've played co-op split screen for years.
Hey.
Even attempting lasso stuff.
They even had extra time to develop this game, and they failed. Real quick, I just want to run you
Just
real quick
Failed.
through this.
All right.
So when the game first released, they released the multiplayer only, and it was free. The multiplayer's free. You
Yeah.
can play it whenever you want.
Yeah, fully.
Even right now, as long as you have Xbox Live. But you can play it for free. You don't have to purchase Halo Infinite. So,
Unless
you do have
unless you
to-
have Steam,
what you do have to pay for, however, is
the campaign.
the campaign.
$60.
The campaign costs $60.
Good God.
That's how much I paid for it. I paid $60. I paid $60 for Halo Infinite, right?
Yeah.
And I was promised
Oh, goodness.
to
Forge.
eventually come out.
Forge.
No, Forge would have been part of the multiplayer.
No,
It would have been.
Well,
Halo
yeah, but-
multiplayer is free.
I get that, but Forge is part of that deal that you're getting.
I think it's coming with the multiplayer though. Like I'm talking about, I was promised split screen co-op, whether when it first came out or later down the line. I would have been upset, and I was, that it wasn't out at release. But I could accept that I would eventually get it. But I didn't, and you've canceled it, and you've completely. I will not buy. Well, I will to film how mad I
Don't
get.
lie to the people.
But I urge you that you should not buy another game from 343 until they have learned their lesson or until someone else takes charge of Halo.
Well, tell me this: what games do they make?
Look,
They make one game.
well, here's the thing.
What,
They've
Halo?
actually, no, I don't think they deserve another chance. They've had 3 chances. First one, Halo 4. That's strike 1.
It was so-so.
Halo 5. That's
Best.
strike 2. Halo Infinite. That's strike 3.
It seems to be a pattern.
And you
here.
need to get out of here. You need to get out. We don't want you
How
anymore.
much money did they make off of every one of those? Over $1 billion total?
It's
And
like
you're telling them they need to get
I
out.
say not as much.
I
as
agree with
the-
you artistically.
im-
They've made over $1 billion, or
But I don't-
more than 2.
I still,
maybe?
I still don't
Imagine-
think that they made as much as
imagine
the original
spending
3.
money on a game that cheats on you. Like say if it was your wife, and your
Well, the
your,
divorce rate's over 50%.
Listen to this. Like you get cheated on once, and then you forgive them, and you get cheated on again, and you're spending money, by the way.
You're upsetting our audience. That's our whole
They're
audience.
cheating on you. They're cheating on you a second time, and you forgive them. Well, how many times are they going to continue cheating on us until we get
Well, it's the same.
until we get what we deserve?
It's
here?
the same answer for these video games, and it's the same answer for these wives. As long as you keep pulling out that checkbook and buying it,
Yeah.
that's when.
I want a good girl, like.
Oh, good
like,
God!
I want a good girl like Dark Souls or Elden Ring, right? I'm not talking
You're the
about
only
actual
person
women.
in this room that has a solid
I have
girlfriend.
a very good girlfriend, and I trust her 100%.
I'm gonna match this.
But
up
343,
to-
you're a terrible girlfriend, and I want a divorce.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go in and edit this where it says I don't, and it's gonna take a piece out of yours and says I want a girlfriend, and then it's gonna say where you're a terrible girlfriend, and then I'm gonna take where you said Carly in the last episode. You're a terrible girlfriend, Carly. And then I'm gonna send it to her and be like, "Look, I
what
just
he
felt
said
like
live
doing
on camera.
I had to tell you, like, you had a right to know."
All right, I think I'm done here.
Are you good?
But I'm just, it just,
Do you?
It
Are you
makes me
Josh,
so-
and do you endorse this message?
Okay.
I don't think anyone should buy another 343 game.
Oh my goodness!
Honestly.
If you want to get something accomplished, that's how to do it.
Like, how many times
Cancel
did
your
it take you
Xbox
to quit
Live
buying
account.
a Madden game?
Oh, we haven't bought Madden.
When you get cheated and cheated and cheated. How
Well,
many
that's
times?
what happened. You sat here and we didn't have a podcast at that time, but you sat here and watched me throw a similar rant. I think it was when 13 or 14 was the same as 12 or 13, and they didn't even change the legacy mode. It was exactly the same.
Yeah.
That's like, what do you want me to do? Spend $60 more to buy the same game? Because used to, on sports games, every year had something new. Like, you went from no Dynasty mode to Dynasty mode. You went from Dynasty mode to the next year, you got to play a whole high school season. And then, if you played good or bad through a bunch of touchdowns, it would give you, like, 4 offers. Do you know how, like, groundbreaking that was? And then it
Yeah.
went, same game, same game, same game. I mean, what fun is that? And here I go. But we're supposed to have an incredible college football game coming out next year, I believe.
We'll see. Hey, this year's Madden was
Well,
so bad that actual NFL
It's not
players
Madden,
are
though.
joking on it.
Well, they've actually been going to the actual football stadiums and
Well, here's the thing.
putting the suits on players, and then they've been pumping music in through the actual USC stadium that they'll use on USC stadium sounds, that kind of thing.
If EA has a hand
It'd
in
be
it,
garbage.
it
but-
may be a awful game. Actually, there's a
Amazon?
highly good chance that if
It's gonna be
EA
crap, and you know it, and I know it.
if EA has a hand in it, it's probably going to be. There's like a 95% chance it's going to be pure garbage.
Well, last year when they passed the NIL rule where players were able to legally make money, I knew that the college football game was going to be back at that point. The only thing that was holding everybody back was the contracts. And now that everybody can make money off their name and likeness, I knew the game was going to come back then.
Yeah.
Because you didn't have one big figurehead, the NCAA, holding everything up.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're back. So now you can just go to each individual player, each individual school, and pay them a little bit of money and say, we're going to use your name and face in this game. And of course, they're
Man,
like,
that's a lot of people, though.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
The
Yeah,
entire
a lot of people.
NCAA.
well, NCAA 14 is selling for $170 right now a piece.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
fair.
have you seen the profit of college football games?
Do you wanna know
We're
what
talking
the-
about the most profitable.
But do you want to know how this all started, though?
No.
How
I'm just gonna
Madden,
go ahead.
how Madden
Oh, I
got the
thought
way
you-
it is? It's because not everyone. So a lot of people are smart,
The COD formula.
but
The secret
a lot of
formula.
people out there
The secret
are-
formula.
buying these games
Crabs.
and and they've gotten used to crap that they keep playing with crap, and then when something's more crap, they're like, "Oh, this ain't as good as last year," and then maybe they'll improve one thing, even though the game's still a piece of garbage,
I know.
and then they'll keep buying the next year's game just for a roster update, and they have ruined it for
Well, you can-
everyone who loves good football games, y'all out there if y'all,
You can do a roster update on 14.
I know, but like people don't understand that, and they keep buying crap, and then we keep getting crap when we want a good football game that's new, and then other people just go out there and buy garbage.
Well, the only hope I have is by next year, we're going to, 9 years in the making, get a completely new college football game.
The only two football games that I've bought in the past 10 years was Madden 18 and Madden 20. Those are the only
Did
two.
you play them?
A little bit, and I realized they were garbage, and I've never touched them since.
20 was, man, it was so bad.
You got so mad you quit halfway through the game.
It was a joke. Yeah, Josh and I don't care how bad this makes it sound, when Josh and I get in the video game football mood, we put in NCAA Football 06 or NCAA Football 08, and we have a great time. They're so fun to play. They take you to a different time period, and you can play straight up football that you can make things happen. I feel like when you play new football games, you can't beat how would you say this in video games? You can't beat what's already penciled in.
Like how it's programmed to be played.
If that
It's programmed to be a certain way, so you have to play that certain way.
If you're running a read option and you read it wrong, the defensive end will tackle you every time. Where if you're playing an old game and you read it wrong, you can hit a spin button, you can hit a highlight stick, you can break 2 tackles, get it to the outside. If you don't play within the algorithm of the new game, you can't accomplish anything. You have 300-pound D linemen that are catching running backs from behind because you didn't hit the designated hole in the offensive line. And that's what got me done.
Mm-hmm.
But what actually got me done on 20, you saw this with your own eyes, was if any receivers got touched, they dropped the ball. And I was like, how are we supposed to play this game?
Well, half the
And those
time
are
when
the
they
pros.
even didn't get hit or touched, they
just
dropped the
dropped
ball.
Yeah. So.
And remember, we turned the catching up to 100.
And I heard from somebody that the very next game I didn't play, the receivers were catching everything. You could triple cover them with 99 overall DBs, they would catch it. And I was like, well, golly, guess you fix that, you bums.
Well, here's the thing. They overcorrected and ruined the game in a different way. They made the game too easy.
Exactly.
Or hard, depending on what you're playing. If you're playing defense, then you're screwed.
Well, have you spoke your piece on this episode?
Yeah. This is it, right? The end?
Yeah, we'll tell people whatever you want to tell them.
All right. Check us out on...
well, no, we're not doing a plug. This is a bonus episode.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
No intro, no plug.
All right.
But,
one last thing. A moment of silence for Halo. I said a moment of silence for Halo. Y'all are over here laughing.
I can't.
It's the concept of you just blurting that out like
You don't have a moment of silence on a podcast. That's cancer.
Have 10 seconds.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
All right, that's
All right,
good.
that's it. All right, bye everybody.
See you in the next one.